Hey, what it do, what it do, what it do? It's your boy Q, and welcome back to YouTube. Look, today I wanted to talk about something. I've kind of been keeping track of a couple tweets that have been going out. Maybe you guys know this person. It's a content creator. He's actually pretty funny to watch from time to time. It's funny because I actually used to think that his style was something that I wasn't a big fan of, especially since I am more of a Survivor main. But Spook and Jukes. I'll make sure I leave a link for him down below because I'm going to use a couple of his tweets. Y'all might know him for his Basement Bubba Tuesdays and some of his fun stuff like that. Likes to get a lot of salt from players for just playing the game that he likes to the way that he likes to play the game, you know? But I wanted to talk about a few tweets that I kind of saw go out over the course of this last week that kind of elicited a lot of different response. It's a lot of kind of things that I think we talk about a lot over on our channel as well, because we do stream a lot of Dead by Daylight over on our channel over on Twitch. Link for that, as always, is going to be down in the description below. But let's go ahead and get started as far as with the first tweet. Again, it's something that we talk about a lot over on our channel. Friendly reminder that camping, tunneling, slugging, gen rushing, body blocking, teabagging, flashlight clicking, dead hard, and no it are not toxic. It's all part of the game, and you shouldn't insult or harass other players for using any of it. Which I think is something that we get, we even try and bring up that a lot when we see, like when we're solo queuing, especially when we're on stream, or even when sometimes like people who are in chat might be like calling out slugging or camping and stuff like that, especially when it's like securing hook states later in the game when the momentum's kind of in the survivor's favor and stuff like that. But even when not, everything's pretty well counterable. I know a lot of Survivor streamers, even myself, like to talk about it to kind of fill that airspace while we're like going through it. But you'll notice at least most of the professional ones don't really talk about it in chat much. And when they do, it's just kind of more just like messing around, right? But the other one that I wanted to talk about was one that came across just a couple days ago. And this one I think really hit home for me the most, and is one of the things that I talk about and I think I relate to the most as far as end game bantering, as far as with what they see in game. Anybody who's been through our stream knows that I love to have fun, especially like if I'm in chase and I'm trying to hold a killer's attention, because I do love being chased quite a lot. If I smack you with some wood, I'm going to teabag a little bit afterwards. My thought isn't for it to be malicious. My thought is, if you're in a position where you think that you might want to break from the chase, and if I, kneel once or twice to assert my dominance, you might decide, you know what, I'm not going to break my chase, and instead I'm going to go ahead and continue chase on somebody who maybe I should not be engaging that chase with. Does that make sense? So that kind of brings up this other tweet here with from Spook and Jukes again. Want to know what I find interesting? People taunt BM each other in professional sports all the time, which is true. Again, I played basketball up and into college, and still they shake hands at the end of the game. But if you BM in a video game, oh no, I don't think so, you toxic piece of trash, followed by threats and slurs. And again, this is something that we see so much. And so I'll say things in twofold, right? If you are going to taunt and BM in a video game, then you have to be prepared to be taunted back. If I am going to teabag a killer after I happen to get through a window where they swung at, and instead they weren't able to hit us, they just are sitting there staring through the window looking at us, and if I taunt there, then I kind of have to be okay with being smacked while I'm on the hook when I get caught, right? Like, I can't be mad at that. You have to be able to give it as well as you can take it, right? Or I guess that's actually the other way around. You have to take it as well. You know what I mean? But I really wanted to bring it up, especially because I was kind of thinking with some other games that we've had lately, more so kind of about, first off, I want to clear some things up between the two tweets. I think where he's talking about where people taunt, BM and stuff, that's some of the things he talks about in the first tweet, the flashlight clicking, the teabagging, the stuff like that. I even actually, if you follow me on Twitter, which if you don't, at YoBoyQ, basically everywhere, YoBoyCue. But I even said, again, I played basketball up into college. It's no different than if I hit a big shot in someone's face, I'm gonna let them know about it on the way down the court. You know what I mean? If someone goes to take a shot in the corner and I send that thing in the bleachers, I'm gonna let them know about it until the next ball's in play. That's perfectly fair. Just like if I happen to send a shot and I talk trash, and then the next trip down the court, I try to go up and block a shot and someone yams over my face, I can't be mad when they return the favor, right? And I think when you look at it, that's where a lot of it seems like the genuine toxicity kind of tends to come out, is when what is actually just a little bit of the competitive nature that a lot of people tend to have, especially like gamers, right? Like people who play a lot, and like especially as you get older, you can't really do sports at a competitive level, but at least you can have some fun, like going and chasing dubs while you're playing with your friends, right? I get that, like, there are going to be people who, just want to get on and have some friendly games and not have that competitive side to it because they're unwinding at the end of the day. But I think you also have to remember that some people, after a long, stressful day, like, their relaxing is competition. Their competition is going on and seeing how fast they can get all 4 people down on the ground and then just hooking them all up in succession. For some people, it's going to be about like how many times they can get a killer to swing and miss at windows and stuff like that. And maybe they throw some teabags afterward. The whole awesome part about gaming is a nice stress relief and we get to have fun. Maybe it's not the type of fun that you're looking for, but it is the type of fun that someone else is looking for. Maybe you don't understand it when you run against somebody like a Spook and Jukes and he's doing Basement Bubba Tuesday, but admittedly, there is kind of something funny about seeing people rage about a video game. So I get why he does it. And I think the more that I've kind of happened to hang out in streams like him and other killers who kind of have the same mentality, it's kind of really like unlocked my mentality, especially as someone who plays as more of a survivor main. It's like, just relax, have fun. DBD is basically like a big game of tug of war, right? So if a killer does happen to want to secure a second hook or even an elimination on their very first down of the game, then it's your job as a survivor to slam some gens and put yourself in a situation where at least maybe 2 of the 3 remaining survivors in the trial can get out. If a killer decides to tunnel you, unfortunately, what it means is your job that round is to try and do the best that you can every time that you're unhooked and prolong that chase as long as possible, instead of just simply sitting there and giving up, because then no one has a chance. Same thing like if you're getting camped. Does it suck? Yeah, but if you just happen to DC and kind of just cry about it, then no one gets to have fun, because then it's immediately a 3v1 instead of it being a 3v1 2 minutes later, right? Because that's how long you're going to be on the hook if you're on there for 2 successful stages. I don't know. Like, I get it. Everybody enjoys being on the winning side. Obviously, we all play video games to have fun and to win. But, and we talked about this on a previous video, maybe just the problem is people need to identify a different, like, win marker and clarify, like, what a win is. Is it so many hooks? Is it so many eliminations? Because if you're a killer going for 4 eliminations every time, I can just say, honestly, especially now with the new MMR, it's just not going to put yourself in a very mentally, like a very healthy state. And I think that's why we're even seeing some of our more well-known content creators who have kind of been used to being able to win at like a 80, 90, 95% clip of 3 to 4Ks, even though the average is like 2 to 3K. I think part of that just becomes down to because we don't have a clear object, like what is a win condition for a killer other than elimination. Just like as a survivor, if you go into the day and think that you're going to get out every time, you're just setting yourself up for failure, really, which then allows you to get frustrated, which then makes you get more frustrated, the 3rd time that you've gotten camped on hook because you happen to be the person that gets caught when there's 2 generators left and there's all 4 players left in the game. It's not that killers are out here playing that sweaty. It's just that because you're in the heat of the moment, you don't see and you don't happen to like recognize what it is, right? You just think that everyone's tunneling because it's the easy thing to do. You don't realize that a lot of the time that it's happening, it's because it kind of makes sense at that point. Now, are there killers that tunnel and, camp at 5 gens with Ruin undying up? And yeah, that happens, sure. And does it suck? Yeah, absolutely it does. And just like when you're playing killer, are there going to be games where you think that you have 1 or 2K and then all of a sudden everyone escapes? Yeah, it does. Might you catch a couple bags on the way out? Maybe. But just like GG and good luck next and move on to the next one. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like if we just kind of got to a point where people stopped taking a video game so personal and just kind of was allowed to disconnect with the kind of the same way you're supposed to disconnect from the end of a long day. If you could just disconnect what's going on to your like cartoon character and make it so it's not so personal, I think everyone would just enjoy the game that much better. Because honestly, it is a good game. Are there problems? Sure, every game has problems, and it's an asymmetric game, so it's going to be hard to balance. But the reason that some of us have been playing it for as long as we have is because there is some core concept to it that's absolutely fun. And they continue to add more and more horrorcore characters. We've gotten to see Resident Evil added. We've seen Pinhead added. Pinhead's been like a name that I've always seen come up in like rumors in the past of like a character that the community wanted to see. And now we have him in the game. So I don't know. I guess if you've made it this far in the video, because I feel like I've kind of rambled a little bit at this point, but just don't take the game so personal. Just have fun. That's what we're supposed to do. And if you're looking for a cool community to hang out with and play some DBD, we play a lot of Survivor with our community. We also have a portion in our Discord where people in the community get together quite often in Swift, even when I'm not online or even when I'm playing. So feel free to pull up. I'm going to leave a link for that down in the description below. Also, if you've liked the content, do me a favor if you can hit a like and a comment. That's going to really just help us out with that good old YouTube algorithm. And of course, if you could just check down there, make sure you're subscribed. About like 70% of the people who've been continuing to come back and enjoy the content, which by the way, I appreciate y'all for viewing. Thank you so much. But if y'all can just make sure you're subscribed, we literally just hit 275 subscribers. I'm so excited. We're on the push for 500 by the end of the year. So if you can help your boy out and make sure that thing's turned red down or turned gray down there and you're subscribed, it really means a lot to me. All right. And until next time, or until we see you over on our stream, don't forget, for real, with everything crazy going on in the world today, be true, be you, be sincere, game hard and love harder. It's your boy Q, signing out.
If you ain't show something, you just don't wanna be. You wanna be me, but you will never be as fresh as see you in.